Hello, everybody. And yes, before anybody says anything, I know that I am chewing on a straw. This is just one of the weird things I do sometimes. And actually, on a related note, I cut up a lot of my face earlier today doing a little thing I like to call speed shaving, because running a triple bladed razor across my neck and face really fast just sounded like a fantastic idea at the time. So yeah, those are just some of the few weird behaviors that make me who I am, and in today's episode, I'm going to share all of those behaviors with you guys. A lot of this stuff is borderline OCD behavior. Like, it all started out with my hands. If my hands do not smell perfect, I have to re-wash them, like, sometimes over a dozen times per day. Like, oh, my hand just was on the floor, I picked something up, gotta wash my hands. I just pet a dog or a cat, gotta wash my hands. And like, it goes to the point where if they don't smell right, then I will bathe them in rubbing alcohol, Germex, and dish soap. And it's gotten to the point where I'll actually smell my hands in front of people, and it's like, nope, my hands do not smell right, gotta go wash them again. And like, recently I started doing this with my clothes, because I accidentally mixed in some old clothes with some new clothes, and now all of my clothes smell just strange. They may not smell bad, but they do not smell good. So now I have to keep re-washing my clothes if I accidentally put on a bad shirt or some bad pants or something. Not to mention my speaker volume. The speaker volume on my laptop has to end in either 5 or 0. It can be 10, 15, 20, 25, but it cannot be 11, 12, or 13. It cannot be any of those numbers. And it gets really annoying because, like, sometimes I'll tweak with stuff like on YouTube. YouTube has a separate soundbar. Like, there's the speaker volume on my computer, and for a YouTube video, there's something for my headphones. I have some headphones with adjustable volume, and like, there's no numbers there, so like it either has to be exactly halfway or all the way up or something. I remember one point when every time I entered a room with a TV, I had to like outline it with my eyes. Like, I had to look all the way around it in a rectangular shape at the TV. And not only that, when I kept doing it, it got worse. Like, now, oh, the outlining it in a square is not enough. Now I gotta go up, down, and up and divide it into 3 sections, and then go right, left, and right and divide it even more. And I actually just recently broke this habit not a year ago. It started to really get on my nerves. I've noticed that my workout habits are like really strange. Like, I used to work out a lot, and now I see it as something that just gets in the way, something that I just have to do and then get it over with. And like, recently I started doing isometric muscle training, and if I don't do that 5 to 6 times a week, then my body will have no sense of temperature. Like, it'll be 90 degrees outside, the thermostat inside will be at 88 degrees, like, oh, it's so cold in here, what the fuck, you know? And it's really weird because that does not follow for any other forms of exercise. Like, I can not do cardio for weeks at a time and not do ab exercises for a week at a time, and I'll be just fine as long as I put the weightlifting in there. I get really aggravated when I play a game and I just like cannot beat a certain part of it, but I don't get mad at online games anymore. Like, if someone kicks my ass in a funny way, I will laugh it off. Be like, that was actually freaking hilarious. That gives me more incentive to play this game even further, so I can do that to people. I cannot buy bottled soda anymore because of the little text that's on the cap. And like, there's a small portion of the cap that's cut off, and the text always gets cut in half with it. When I close the soda bottle, screw the cap back on, I always have to have the text perfectly aligned. And like, if I'm drinking a canned soda or a canned beverage of any kind, I always have to turn the tab to the left. Unless somebody else is drinking with a tab that's turned to the left, then I will turn the tab all the way to where it's facing, pointing at me. Actually, that's not 100% true. Now I've noticed that anytime I'm holding a soda, whatever hand I hold it in, the tab has to be facing the opposite direction. It's like I'm holding it with my right hand. I'm going to turn the tab with my left hand, so I have to turn the tab to the left side. If I pick the soda up with my left hand, I'm turning it with my right hand, so I have to turn it to the right side, which is kind of weird. Not to mention, every time I finish a soda, I finish every last drop, every single drop in the soda, and I tear the tab off and start chewing it like bubble gum. If I'm playing a video game and the controller does not have trigger buttons, like if I'm playing a PlayStation 1 or a PlayStation 2 game, then I have to press every single button on the controller before I start playing, at least once. I don't know why, but it's just something that I always do. And even on computer games, if I know the controls really well, I'll press every key that involves general activity in the game. This last thing isn't really OCD, but I've noticed that I will spend time on the most ridiculous shit and get a considerable amount of it done if it just gives me, like, general interest. Like, one day I woke up and I'm like, you know what? I want my left hand and my right hand to have the same strength. So I started ambidexterity training to make both of my arms equal in basically doing everything. Like, I wanted to learn how to write with both hands, throw with both hands, catch with both hands. I wanted both of my arms to have, like, equal strength. And now, like, it's gotten to the point where I've fucked it up. Like, my left bicep is stronger than my right bicep. My right tricep is stronger than my left tricep. And I remember wanting to learn Japanese because I wanted to watch all of my favorite animes without searching for, like, English subtitles, and I hated English dub because I thought the voices sounded childish. So I just wanted to watch everything in the original voice acting. And it got to a point where, like, I learned a lot of basic phrases in Japanese, but, like, I still don't know how to, like, ask a lot of questions or make too many basic sentences. Like, I know I can count to 100 in Japanese, but, like, that's probably the most impressive thing about it, is the fact that I can count to 100. Alright, guys, that's the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and until next time, my name is Matthew Gordon Ligue, and I hope you all have a hilarious day.